A single project serves one need, but a bundled offering where multiple complementary projects combine into one package serves the full need. So the difference matters because customers increasingly buy integrated solutions, not just individual tools. This is the logic behind scenario collaborations, where projects combine their capabilities, go to market together through a shared offering, and then split the revenue automatically. So the concept isn't theoretical. Hire has been running this model across thousands of micro-enterprises over a decade, and the results show why bundled partnerships consistently outperform solo execution and what infrastructure is required to make them work. A scenario collaboration is a structured partnership between two or more complementary projects that bundle their capabilities into a single offering. So one product, one launch page, one value proposition that addresses the customer's full problem. They go to market together, so they jointly sell the combined offer rather than cross-referring separate projects. And then lastly, they share the revenue automatically. So each partner earns a pre-agreed percentage of the revenue the bundled offering generates. So the keyword here is bundled. This isn't a referral partnership or an integration. It's a combined offering where the whole is worth more than the sum of the parts. And each partner shares directly into that value. So Hire's ecosystem model offers some of the best documented examples. And here are 3 cases that are worth studying for the pattern they share. The first one is Wesley Silk, a well-known Hangzhou textile manufacturer. And they had a problem. Customers complained that their silk garments were too fragile for conventional cleaning, and Wesley made silk, not washing machines, so they couldn't solve this alone. But through Hire's Internet of Clothing ecosystem, Wesley partnered with Hire's washing machines team and detergent producer, and together they developed Airwash, a cleaning method using minimal water and specialized vaporized detergent. Airwash machines were placed directly in Wesley's stores, so the result, a 30% increase in Wesley's revenue in the first month. So customers who previously avoided buying silk because of cleaning concerns now purchase confidently. So the bundled offering, silk garments plus in-store airwash cleaning, solved the problem that neither partner could address independently. And then a detergent micro-enterprise spun out of this collaboration as well, creating an entirely new business line from what started as a partnership. And here's a second really cool example. So Xiaoyi manufactured clothing tags, the small labels inside garments with washing instructions. And it was factory only B2B business. Then the Internet of Clothing ecosystem created an opportunity. Smart washing machines that could read the RFID tags and automatically select the correct wash cycle. So Xiaoyi joined the ecosystem. Their tags went from passive labels to active technology components, and the market shifted from exclusively industrial to household use. The result, Xiaoyi's market valuation rose from 100 million Chinese yuan to 400 million Chinese yuan. A 4x increase, driven not by a product, but by joining a bundled offering where their existing product served a new function. So in these 2 examples, along with all the other examples we've seen in this, we see 3 main things consistently happen when complementary projects bundle instead of selling separately. The first one is that the addressable market expands. So Wesley reached customers who wouldn't buy silk without a cleaning solution. And Xiaoyi reached an entire consumer market they'd never served before. And each partner accessed customers they couldn't reach alone. And then we saw that the offering commands higher prices because integrated solutions are worth more than the sum of their parts because they eliminate the consumer's coordination burden. And then new revenue streams emerge. Airwash cleaning generates per use revenue, and then the bundled offering creates opportunities none of the partners would have seen independently. But as Li Yang, Hire's Internet of Clothing platform owner, observed, he said previously 80% of our business was our core product. Now the core business is only 20% of our revenue and 80% is new business. The core product became the entry point, and then the bundled ecosystem generated the majority of the revenue. And keep in mind, this is the biggest white appliance manufacturer in the world. They went from almost bankruptcy to leading the industry thanks to this specific organizational structure of having an ecosystem where they collaborate openly with scenario collaborations. So now what makes scenario collaborations work and fail? Because not every partnership becomes a scenario collaboration. The ones that work share specific characteristics. The first one is that they're complementary and not overlapping, because every successful examples involve partners who bring different capabilities. Wesley bought silk manufacturing and retail presence. Hire brought the washing technology. And then the detergent partner brought chemistry. None of them competed with each other, but each was essential. So when partners overlap in capability, the collaboration becomes competitive. And when they complement, it becomes multiplicative. The second characteristic is a shared customer problem. The bundled offering must address a single customer problem that no partner can solve alone. So I want a silk clothing I can actually clean at home becomes the problem. And then the problem defines the bundle. So if partners can articulate the customer problem their combined offering solves, the collaboration is simply a marketing exercise, not a scenario collaboration. The last characteristic is revenue sharing, not revenue referral. The critical infrastructure difference here is that every partner earns from the combined offerings revenue, not from referral fees. So when Hire's ecosystem sells an integrated vaccination station renovation, every partner, carpenters, software developers, equipment manufacturers, they earn a share of the total contract value. So revenue sharing aligns incentive in a way that referral fees simply cannot. A referral partner earns a one-time fee and then moves on. A revenue sharing partner has an ongoing financial stake in the offering's success. That stake drives sustained engagement, quality, and urgency. So this is the coordination infrastructure required to make this work, because multi-partner revenue sharing is easy to describe, but it's very hard to execute because it requires contracts that specify each partner's contribution and revenue percentage. It requires a shared go-to-market presence, so a single page or offering the customer sees, not 3 separate pitches. And then automated revenue tracking and distribution to make sure the partners get paid accurately without any manual reconciliation. And then transparent reporting so every partner sees the same revenue data. Hire built this infrastructure internally with their Workbench platform. So for projects outside corporate ecosystems, this infrastructure is the primary barrier. The collaboration model makes sense, the coordination logistics kill it. But Ordana's scenario collaboration feature is built specifically around this bundled partnership model. So the mechanics are partner discovery. We have an AI that matches complementary projects together. We identify where capabilities align and where bundled offerings could address unserved customer problems. Then you get a shared launch page. Each scenario collaboration gets a public page where the bundled offering is presented as a single product. So one URL, one value proposition, one call to action, and users see the combined offering, not 3 separate pitches. And then we auto-generate the contracts. So revenue percentages, contribution expectations, and duration are defined upfront. Every partner signs the same contract. Changes requires consensus and no unilateral edits are allowed. So automation revenue splitting is also what we solve. When revenue flows through the shared offering, Stripe automatically distributes each partner's shares. No invoicing between partners, no manual reconciliation, and each partner sees real-time revenue data. So the model mirrors what Hire built internally, but accessible to any project without requiring an 80,000 person corporate ecosystem. But not every partnership needs to be a scenario collaboration. The model fits when your product is one part of a customer's full problem. So a design tool is useful alone, but design plus development plus deployment is a complete solution. A bundled offering can change for the full solution. And if you're entering a market where credibility requires breadth, so enterprise customers want complete solutions. 3 specialized startups bundling into one offering can compete with larger companies that offers everything in-house, but often with better quality per component. And then if you have complementary distribution, so one partner has the audience, the other has the product, and then the third has the implementation capability. Bundling lets each partner access the other's distribution. And lastly, if you want to test a market without building everything yourself. So instead of spending 12 months building adjacent features, partner with someone who already has them. So if the market responds, the collaboration validates the direction. So the common thread is the combined offering creates value that none of the individual parts can capture independently. So the takeaway from this video is that we're heading towards a massive shift. Lee Young's observation that his core product went from 80% of revenue to 20%, with ecosystem generated business filling the other 80%, is the most striking data point in any of these case studies. It suggests that for many projects, the biggest revenue opportunity isn't improving the core product, it's bundling that product with complementary partners to address a larger customer problem. The core product becomes the entry point, but the bundled offering becomes the business. The shift doesn't require Hire's scale. It requires coordination infrastructure and the right partners, and both are now solved.